On today's Chiefs Report, we are going to take a look at some Chiefs draft targets heading into the 2023 NFL Combine. Players are arriving in Indianapolis as we speak, and they will do interviews, do workouts, talk to teams, all that good stuff. So I figured it was a good time to take a look at 25 potential draft targets here on the Chiefs Report. And right now, this is my list of biggest needs for Kansas City. This is subject to change, but edge rusher, right tackle, wide receiver. I think those three are a top three. Defensive tackle and safety, potentially, at DT, you got Kalen Saunders and Derek Nottie, who's a free agent. Obviously, you have Chris Jones, so you're good there, but you need someone next to him. Safety, Juan Thornhill's a free agent. Do you feel good with the Justin Reid, Brian Cook pairing, or do you want someone else? So those are kind of secondary needs, but I think edge, right tackle, wide receiver, those are three positions that I would look to address. Now, our race to 40,000 subscribers with our Dolphins Today YouTube channel is heating up, and you guys have answered the bell. We've taken a nice, fairly comfortable lead here, but Will Scott, our host of our Dolphins channel, told me today, hey, big push today on Dolphins, so don't want to leave it to doubt. Let's cross the finish line here, get to 40,000 subscribers, make it a competition. Can't lose to Tyree Kill and the Dolphins. Come on, hit that sub button. Let's get to 40,000 subscribers before they do. All right, let's get to some draft targets here. We'll kind of group them by positions here, at least for these first three groupings. Edges up first. Tyree Wilson, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech, who might go top 10. And look, some of these guys we're going to talk about today are players that the Chiefs would have to trade up for. But remember, Kansas City does have 11 draft picks this year, so keep that in mind. Now, Tyree Wilson, the last couple of years at Texas Tech after transferring from Texas A&M, was just a monster. 99 tackles, 14 sacks, 27.5 tackles for loss, had a forced fumble. He is a freaky athlete. This is for sure a guy to watch at the Combine. 6'6", 275. He's going to run well, broad jump well, all that stuff. The athletic traits are off the charts. He can kick inside occasionally as well. He's a freak athlete, and I'm curious to see how he translates to the league. B.J. Ojulari, if that last name sounds familiar, it is. He is the younger brother of Azeez Ojulari, who plays with the New York Giants now. And I like B.J. Ojulari. He can get after the quarterback, about 245 pounds coming off the edge, so maybe a little lighter than what Spags normally likes, but certainly has the skill set to rush the passer. So does Nolan Smith, and like B.J. Ojulari, and even more so, he's a very light player. He's about 235 pounds. I think he probably fits better in a 3-4, but he's a pretty good run stopper for his size. I just wonder, it's been a pretty consistent theme with Spags. He likes bigger defensive ends, which is why I mentioned Tyree Wilson. What if the Chiefs fall in love with him and say, screw it, we'll trade up to number 10, like we did with Patrick Mahomes. We got all these extra draft picks. Why not? I don't think it's likely, but I do think it could happen. Nolan Smith might be a little too small for Spags' liking, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, Myles Murphy, kind of in the ilk of Tyree Wilson, he's going to go top 10, top 15, but he could slip a little bit. I don't think he'll test as well as some of the other edge rushers, so I think he's a potential trade-up target along with Tyree Wilson. Now, Myles Murphy is probably the best pure run stopper at edge in this draft, which I like. We all get obsessed with sacking the quarterback, which we should. I mean, if you can get pressure on the quarterback, that goes a long way, but you got to stop the run as well, and Murphy does a really good job of that. And look, if the Chiefs like Murphy or Wilson, and one of these guys slips a little bit into the teens, I think that could be trade-up alert for Kansas City, a team that doesn't have a ton of major needs, obviously coming off a Super Bowl championship. One more here, and it is I just skipped this question. Who do you want, Wilson or Murphy? Who'd you rather have, TW for Tyree Wilson or MM for Myles Murphy? All right, one more edge here. A lot of you Chiefs fans should be familiar with him. It's Kansas State's Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I love this guy. I watch a lot of Big 12 football, and all the dude does is make plays. I mean, 96 tackles the past couple of years, almost 20 sacks, 25.5 tackles for loss, 8 forced fumbles, including 6 in 2021, had a couple more this year. The guy's just always around the football. He's making plays. He's getting after the quarterback. He's pretty good in the run game as well. I think you could get him potentially in the second round, so that's a plus also, and he has pretty good size, which Spagnuolo likes, so keep an eye on Mr. Felix. All right, let's go to wide receiver here. Jaxon Smith-Njigba. I don't think he'll fall to 31, but maybe he's there in the 20s and you move up a few spots to get him. He was awesome in 2021 as a true sophomore. maybe the best receiver in college football that year with 1,600 yards and 9 touchdowns, had a Rose Bowl game for the ages against Utah. But then he missed virtually all of 2022 with a nagging hamstring injury. Every time he tried to come back, he would retweak it, and it just did not work out. I'll be curious to see how much he does at the Combine and then ultimately at his pro day. I think we all want to see him test because he didn't play this year, but he's a talented player. I would like to see him team up with Patrick Mahomes. Shout out to Cultivate, the free browser extension that's going to help your Amazon shopping experience. They are sponsoring today's show, and you can download the free extension today at wecultivate.us/chatsports. Cultivate shows you the brand, seller, or product origin and identifies local alternatives that support local community efforts while saving you money while you're shopping on Amazon. With over 50% of Amazon US-based or sellers based in China, Cultivate offers a way to avoid trickery from these sellers and keep money in the United States economy. Cultivate offers alternatives that are, on average, 30% less expensive than Amazon without any additional costs, such as Amazon Prime. You can even find local alternatives with Cultivate that can help you pick up the product on the same day. Cultivate users earn free donations as rewards for using the extension, and the more you use it, the more you earn in donations by increasing your level. In fact, Cultivate donates 51% of the revenue they make on your purchase. So, what are you waiting for? Go to wecultivate.us/chatsports. Download Cultivate for free. Let Cultivate bring transparency, savings, and community support to your Amazon shopping journey. It's wecultivate.us/chatsports. That link is in the comments and in the description on today's video. Find the best prices available with Cultivate. Okay, Quentin Johnston, a personal favorite of mine. Look, I'm biased. I'll admit it. He's from my alma mater, TCU. But I will say this, and I think this is a legitimate point. His size and speed combination is unlike any receiver Patrick Mahomes has ever played with. Now, I'm not saying he's better than any receiver Mahomes has ever played with. He played with Tyree. Like, he played with Travis Kelce at tight end, but he is 6'4", 215, gets yak yards after the catch. Probably can tighten up some of the route running, but I think in this offense he could be absolutely dangerous as hell. I'd love to see it happen. We'll see where he goes in round 1. Zay Flowers, more of the prototypical receiver that the Chiefs have had in the past, undersized, twitchy guys. That's what Zay Flowers is. He did add 13 pounds of muscle. Saw that report on Monday. And he's good, man. Over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns for a garbage Boston College team. So for him to put up those numbers, pretty impressive. I think he's a guy to watch at the Combine as well. Keep an eye on this kid. I think he could go round 1. Jalin Hyatt out of Tennessee. If you just want a guy that can straight up fly, just straight go routes, Jalin Hyatt's your guy. I mean, that's all he did this year for the Volunteers. Just straight down the field, beats the corner, Hendon Hooker drops it in the bucket, touchdown. Had kind of a Jamar Chase light season in terms of what he did for Tennessee. Remember that year Chase had for LSU when he was unbelievable? Not quite to that level, but 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. He's pretty special. He needs to add more tools to the toolkit there, but he is really fast, and he can really make plays down the field. Jordan Addison, kind of like Smith-Njigba and Quentin Johnston, and maybe even Flowers or Hyatt, who knows. He'd be a guy you'd have to trade up for, but he's really good in space. He might be the best pure receiver in this draft. Twitchy after the catch. He can do it all. Not super big, but not, considered very undersized either. Now, key decisions are coming at receiver for Kansas City. Juju Smith-Schuster, McCole Hardman, they're impending free agents. Will the Chiefs trade up for a receiver in the draft to get one of these top guys? Maybe. I think it's a possibility. We'll see what Brett Veach, what tricks he's got up his sleeve. But I do think whether it's bringing back Juju or something else, they're going to have to at least address receiver in one way or another. Now, who's the best receiver in this draft? If you had to pick one guy, who do you think that player is? I love Quentin Johnston, but I think Jordan Addison might be the best pure receiver. Zay Flowers is moving up draft boards. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, had he played this year and played well, he could be that guy. So it's tough to say. Who do you guys think is the best receiver in this draft? Let's go to offensive tackle here. We won't spend as much time on these guys because, we don't talk about the big boys up front as much, but we're going to give them some love here. Broderick Jones, the tackle out of Georgia. I think the Chiefs need to address right tackle. They need to figure out what their plans are there. Now, maybe they bring back Andrew Wiley, and I certainly wouldn't be opposed, but I think Andrew Wiley has earned himself a payday. And if I'm the Chiefs, I'm not overpaying for Wiley. I've got Lucas Niang sitting there. It's a pretty good draft group as well in the range where the Chiefs will be drafting. Broderick Jones could be there at 31. Maybe he'd have to move up a couple spots. We'll have to wait and see. Now, Peter Skoronski, you would definitely have to trade up for, but he's the most technically sound offensive lineman in this draft. I mean, his PFF grades are unbelievable. Overall, 89.5. Pass blocking's fantastic. Gave up just 1 sack this year, and throughout his college career at Northwestern, he was awesome. Played left tackle, but scouts think he can play guard. They think he can flip to right tackle. Like that versatility. Now, here's a fun player, Dawan Jones. Dawan Jones is just a massive human being, okay? 6'8", 375, and he's a pretty good athlete as well. One scouting report I read here is if you have a mobile quarterback, he's going to be awesome at right tackle. Well, Chiefs have a mobile quarterback, so, hey, maybe get him in round 2. Could be an option. Darnell Wright has been shooting up draft boards. So has Anton Harrison, the tackle out of Oklahoma. Could these guys sneak into round 1? 31 might be right in the range for these guys as they've been moving up boards. And look, if you take a lineman at 31, I think it's someone to start at right tackle. Chiefs drafted Darian Kennard last year in the 5th. They thought he could be a sleeper guy to start there. That did not work out. Maybe that changes this year. Maybe he has a big offseason. Who knows? But that has not been the case. And Lucas Niang, who knows what the Chiefs' evaluations of him are at this point. I think right tackle is something you have to keep an eye on this offseason. Now, who will be the Chiefs' starting right tackle in 2023? Maybe you still think it's Andrew Wiley. Maybe you think it's Lucas Niang. Curious to see what your thoughts are on that one. Who will be the Chiefs' starting right tackle in 2023? Let me know in the comments section down below. All right, some other Chiefs draft targets, just kind of a grouping of all kinds of positions. Keely Ringo, the corner out of Georgia, he's long, he's athletic. I think he's going to test really well. So say Kansas City wanted to trade L'Jarius Sneed, he's a guy to monitor. Brian Brescia, the defensive tackle out of Clemson, I think he could slip a bit in this draft. So later in round 1, he could be an interesting target. I love Dalton Kincaid, the Utah tight end. Also really like Michael Mayer, the tight end at Notre Dame. I like the Chiefs tight end room. Obviously, Travis Kelce doesn't look like he's slowing down, but maybe this is a draft you take a swing at a tight end as a potential long-term tight end 1 once Kelce does decide to retire. Sidney Brown, Illinois safety, just creates a lot of turnovers. Tuli Tuipulotu, the defensive lineman out of USC, has defensive tackle edge versatility. Drew Sanders, the linebacker out of Arkansas, he makes a lot of plays. I'm a big fan of his. Deuce Vaughn, I'll mention him out of Kansas State. Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets cut or traded, or hey, you don't want to bring back Jarrett McKinnon, Deuce Vaughn could fill that role. Will McDonald, the edge out of Iowa State, just a sack machine. And then Nathaniel Tank Dell, he's been moving up draft boards, could be a fun kick return guy / slot receiver. All right, who's your top draft target for Kansas City? I just went through 25 players on today's show. Let me know in the comments section who you would like to draft this April. All right, that's it for today's Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for the latest Chiefs news, rumors, draft, and free agency coverage, plus live shows every single Monday. All you got to do is subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a show.